Hello and welcome once again to another playthrough of Rangers of Shadowdeep with me, Owen Staton. Thank you ever so much for all the kind words about the previous games. I'm glad you're enjoying them, and I really hope that you're going to enjoy this third game, this third adventure, this third quest that our heroes are about to undertake. This one is from the next chapter in the initial campaign that is in the rather lovely Rangers of Shadowdeep Deluxe Edition, and this one is called The Beacon Tower, and The Bridge Guards is the first one. Now, I've had to make a few changes because of, again, my own scenery, my own, the things that I own that could suit the game. Whereas the original scenario has a bridge at the top here leading to a camp, I've decided to go with this tower because after this game, if we're successful, we'll be moving into the depths of the tower. And that will take our heroes to a whole new level. And I've got some lovely dungeon plans in which I can show you with that next week. The Tower of Tor Verdun, there in the centre of this dark, creepy, dismal forest. And our heroes are moving in there, having had 2 successful previous quests. This game was supposed to be used with a lot of Gnoll fighters and Gnoll archers. Unfortunately, I don't actually own any Gnolls, so I am going to be using these rather lovely Otherworld miniatures, pig-faced orcs and hobgoblins that I have owned for quite a while. I love Otherworld stuff, and these are perfect for this. Well, they're not perfect because they're not Gnolls, but they are perfect in their own way to represent the Gnolls. So they're orcish or hobgoblin creatures. Here we have a sergeant who will be in command of this band of villains. We've got 1, 2, 3 archers, and this, I had 3 archers. I wasn't able to paint up a 4th archer in time, so this shaman-like figure is going to represent an archer for us as well. And we have 2 Gnoll guards there, and 2 more here in the tower. So it's quite a quest today, and there's quite a few things that we are going to be up against. This is our 3rd adventure with this group, and as you know, that Garesh here, this figure here, is the 2nd son of a noble, and the Shadowdeep has arrived in the land, overtaking all the nobles' lands and pushing them out. Farmers and rural folk who live in the outlying areas have had to rush back to Garesh's keep in order to try and find sanctuary. So he's led out expedition after expedition of his companions to find out what's been happening to his border towers, if you like, which have overlooked the land and cared for the land over many centuries. Garesh is really finding himself as a hero here. He has led a rather soft, privileged life, and now he finds himself thrust into the action. And here he has his faithful hound, Melte. Now, Melte has accompanied us on 2 quests previously and has been knocked cold on both occasions really early on. So this is his 3rd one, but he starts on half his hit points. So it's going to be a tough one for Melte. It's going to be a real tough one. But he's going for it, and he's going to be in there, and he's going to be battling on with the best of them. We have, just going through it quickly, we have Bet, who is also is a healer from the court of Garesh's father, and she herself is suffering some rather grievous injuries, so starts on half hit points as well. And we have the bodyguard here, who is Kaini, who is one of the men-at-arms that Garesh's father has used to protect his lands for many years. Brilliant fighter, vicious, and has done us proud over the last couple of battles. So she's with us, and she's fine. We have Fortek, the visiting elven mage, who is here to spend time and hopefully form some sort of an alliance, but again has found himself thrust into the action along with his companion here, Kyra, the fighter, so who has also been amazing, the elven fighter with her twin blades, who has helped us no end in the last couple of quests. Just to keep you up to date, we fished out that one of the outlying towers was last week taken over by some giant spiders. We managed to cleanse the area, although it is no longer habitable. They returned to the fortress where to plan again, our heroes, and whilst they were having a feast to celebrate their success, a messenger burst into the area and shouted out that Tor Verdun had fallen to these fellows here. So our heroes have had to come out again in order to do battle and have rushed to Torverdun. This is Torverdun here. It's fallen to rack and ruin, but underneath it, it has a dungeon complex which has been used for centuries where treasures have been kept. These evil creatures, these hobgoblins, these pig-faced orcs, have made a camp here and erected one of their monoliths in order to provide support and as a beacon for evil creatures for miles around to gather. And here they are. These 3 gems here represent the treasure that the hobgoblins and orcs are guarding, and our heroes are just setting off here at this side of the board. The idea of the quest over 10 turns, we're on turn 1 as you can see, is to maybe get into the tower, get hold of the treasure and find out exactly what's happening. I've done this in a different way, so we'll be working our way up the board. In order to start the campaign here, as long as the heroes remain undetected by the evil creatures here, they will gain a +4 to fight. And the creatures will not fire arrows, etc. at them. So every turn, I'm going to have to start the game by rolling a stealth check with a target number of 8 on a d20. So we're going to look at it here. I don't think any of my companions have any sort of tracking skills or stealth skills at the moment, even though it's technically the Rangers of Shadowdeep. Goresh is more of a fighter type character himself. So he is going to make the stealth roll with the white dice, and he has a target number of 8 to see if our heroes can move this turn undetected. It's a 6. What a great start. What a great start. The alarm bell starts to ring. Maybe one of the gnolls has climbed to the top here and quite cleverly managed to see our heroes approach through the thick trees, through the web-stuck trees on this, the darkest day. And he cries out, causing alarm for all our enemies here. So, here we go. Let's get on with it. All right. The turn is broken up into a number of different phases. The first one is the Ranger phase. Now, I looked up on this last week and I was playing incorrectly. Anyone within 3 inches of the Ranger, not 6 inches, 3 inches of the Ranger can move in this first turn. So that would be this little bunch here. So we'll start with our Ranger, Goresh, and what he's going to do, he has a movement of 7, I believe. Let me just check. As I look through the book here, yep, he's going to move of 7. So he is going to move as quickly as he can. He can only move half movement through the forest here. In his first move, he can take 2 actions. So his second move, he's half movement anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move him 5 inches into this area here. He plunges into the forest, heading, rushing through the towers, brushing through the trees as he runs, being careful to make sure that he doesn't fall or slip or trip or headlong into some enemy sort of ambush. Mechte, his hound, will accompany him, and off they'll go that way. Okay, there we are. And we will also look at the other skills that we've got here. Keira is going to follow him. She's going to move up that way, as well as Kaini. No, she's not. I don't want to leave us too light on fighters on this side, because there's quite a lot of evil creatures this way. So she is going to accompany our other companions here. Anyway, that's the end of that phase. That's what they've done. So we now go on to our evil creatures. Okay, they know someone's coming for them. They know that people are on their way. But while they're in the forest, the line of sight is sort of broken. So the archers, I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to look around. When we look at the way the system works, we try and work out for each creature exactly what they do. So let's have a little look. Let's start with this one. Is the creature in combat? No. Proceed to step 2. Is there a hero in line of sight? No, there's not. Does the scenario include a target point? Well, no, it doesn't. It will make one move in a random direction. Okay. Thank you, Justin, my friend, who suggested that I use this for the scenario to get some random directions. It's a random direction dice. So I'm going to use it for this guy here. And he's going to use both his actions and move into this forest. Oh no, he takes a fall, he takes a tumble off the edge of the world, but arrives back here. Here he is. Boom, boom. Makes his way through. What about this guy? Well, it's going to be the same, isn't it? It's going to be exactly the same. So let's do a random dice. And he's moving in that direction as well. You can see that the alarm is setting them off. But they got a pre-assigned plan in order to get themselves to move. And what happens when no, they don't, because this one moves that way. He's going to move up until he meets his friend there, perhaps discussing what's going on in front of them. And the other one moves that direction. So he's going to move to there. We have one there. He is inside, but he's going to come out and step here. And we have the one on top there. Oh, okay, he's had enough. He's going to just climb down, and though he can't move much further than the back of the board, he's going to move that way. We have the sergeant there. Now then, yeah, he's following the pre-designed plan, isn't he? He can move a bit further because he's in open ground, so he's going to move there. And there is the treasure that they want to guard. But this guy here, I'm having a disaster, folks, so far now. A disaster. Let's try and relax. Let's try and be careful. Okay, here we go. He is moving, is it this guy here? He's going to move that way, following his sergeant. So they're approaching our heroes. You can see, if this was a, well, if you just imagine that they can hear sounds of people approaching, they can hear the clang of metal armour, the heavy tread of boots, and they're going to start making their way out there to try and find out exactly what is happening. And this guy here is going to move that direction. Stepping over the rather ominous looking lava there, which I believe is just some sort of red running river that we've got there. Okay, very good. It's the end of the creature's phase. So it being the end of the creature's phase, we now go to the rest of our companions. So the rest of our companions are going to make a move in this direction. It's going to move to there. She's moving up that way, and she is moving up that way as well. And that, my friends, is the end of, it's the event phase. We draw a card to find out what happens in the event phase, to find out exactly what, if anything, sort of randomly happens. In this scenario, we don't draw one every turn, we draw one every other turn. So let's have a look at it. It's 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So this is turn 1, boom, here we go, number 7. There is no red 7. Well done, Owen, you should take that card out. Red ace. Okay. A soldier that has escaped the attack on Tor Verdun appears on the table. Place him anywhere you wish on the small side of the table. The soldier has the same stats as a man-at-arms companion. Oh, okay. Well then, good old Owen. Let's have a look what I've got here that can represent the soldier. I'm sure we have something. Yes, perfect. Okay, a soldier appears on the table edge. Anywhere the heroes start in table edge. So he's been in hiding for a long time, and he sees our heroes approaching and calls out to them, saying, look, I am here to help you. And here he is. So wow, that is something that we could really do with, actually. We've got an extra companion. So boom, straight into turn 2 we are. Everyone's approaching each other really quickly, aren't they? So yeah, it's a tough old game this one's going to be, I can tell. Right, Garesh, here he comes. He is going to move half movement, and he's going to get himself down to the edge of the area here, followed by Mechte, and followed by our warrior friend here as well. The three of them moving as swiftly and as silently as they possibly can. Okay, the creature turn. Well, there's a big one this turn, isn't it? Okay, well, we're going to start with the on this side of the board with our creature here. He still hasn't any line of sight, so he is going to move this direction, backward, this way, looking to try and keep cover. His bow is drawn. This one here is going that way. The sergeant here, which way is he going to head? He's following a pre-designed plan. He's a smart cookie, this guy, and he's going to meet up with his archer friend here and plan what to do. And I wonder if they've, oh no, she's cursed again, maybe spotted Bet. The standard bearer is going to make his way back over the little ford there, keeping an eye on that treasure. This fellow here, now I think that there is a line of sight there now as he comes out of the forest to Garesh. So this guy rushes out of the steps of the tower, down the stone steps, and jumps in there to do battle with our trusty companion Garesh, our trusty friend, our hero. Who, out of nowhere, that axe swinging above his head, he rushes towards Garesh. Now this could be a bit of a battle, couldn't it? Although our friend is supported by Mechte, who stands there right next to him. So let's have a little look what we've got here. I'm just going to look through find the bestiary with for the creatures, which is going to be interesting, because I don't know how these knolls are going to actually work out, how they're going to be, are they tough, are they not tough? Let's have a little look, let's find out. Okay, giant rat, giant spider, giant knoll, here we go. He's a knoll fighter, he's got a fight +2, 10 health, and armour 11, he's actually quite tough. But he is fighting Garesh there, who is as fresh as a daisy, folks. Okay, he's got fight +3, so that gives us 1 advantage, and he's also supported by Mesh there. So what we find is we have got a, that gives him +2. So he has got a fight of +5 compared to the Knoll's +2. But we're rolling d20, so anything can happen here, guys. Okay, so here we go. I hope you can see this. It's a 5 and it's a 9. It's a rather low swinging action, isn't it? So we have scored a grand total of 10. And he has scored a grand total of, he's +2, isn't he? So a grand total of 11. So he does win the combat, but Garesh's armour is 10. So take that away. He does 1 hit point of damage to our hero. Just a nick catches him cold on the arm. Ooh! You can see that he's now on 17 hit points. So he's still doing okay, but he's taken a brief wound on the arm there. Ouch. Okay. This guy here, following the lead of his companion, takes a step forward and he's going to fight. He's going to fire his bow here at Keira. Okay, he's going to fire his bow, and the way archery works is exactly the same, but we can't actually win the combat, so it's just a hit or a miss. So let's have a little look at Knoll Archer. Archer plus shoot has got +2, but Keira, who is our best fighter, I think, has got a fight of +4. So we are winning the combat by 2 before we start. It's a draw. So it fires, she ducks at the very last minute, and the arrow embeds in the tree here with a bang. Okay. And this guy here is going to move 1 move to there, and he's going to take a shot at Keira as well. Exactly the same as before, folks. She ducks, she sees the arrow coming and it thuds, just flies off into nowhere. So what a victory there, no problems. Okay, other evil creatures. We've got the guy in the tower who last turn didn't know where he was going. Let's see where he's going this turn. He's headed towards the gateway here. In fact, that'll get him outside there. So he emerges. Gosh, there's a big combat in this one, isn't it? It really is sort of tough going. So here we are. This is our other heroes are here to move now. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and start to earn some victories for ourselves here, because I can see us getting overwhelmed otherwise. Okay, Fartek is going to move there, and he has got a rather nifty collection of magic spells, and he is going to cast the spell Magic Bolt, which, let me just have a little look in the book here and see exactly what that can do. Magic Bolt, I believe, is just going to be a missile. +5 magic shooting attack on this Knoll Archer in front of me. So he brings his arms back. You can see a spell conjuring in his hand, swinging around. A light sort of erupts from his hands and fires out towards this Knoll who's just starting to emerge from the trees here. Okay, his armour is well, his fight +1, so we've got a +4. Now that's good, isn't it? This Magic Bolt is superb. That gives him a score of 22 to the Knoll's 7. That's a big, big score. Probably the best magic spell we've cast so far in this campaign. He brings his arm back, fires the magic bolt from his hand. It shoots through the air and hits the Knoll Archer square in the centre of the chest. So he scores 22. The Knoll's armour is 11, so that's leaving us a score of 11. He's got a health of 10, so he slumps against the tree and falls down dead. Good for our heroes. Okay, here we go. Let's go with Bet, our hero's on half health. She has struggled so far in this campaign, but maybe now is the time because she can start coming alive. But she's going to make her way slowly into the trees here. She is at one with nature until she falls over, and she loves making her way into the forest, and she's going to support Farek that way. And Kaini here is going to make her way. She is one tough cookie, okay, and she can see this Knoll Sergeant here. I wonder if she is going to flex her muscles and do battle with him straight off. She's got a move of 6, so she can move 6 inches and then still attack. Is she in range? She is just, no. I'm going to give her that. She is there, folks. She rushes up in this gap between the forest and rushes into battle with these two guys here, hoping to take out the sergeant. I think as she rounded the corner there, she didn't quite anticipate that this archer would be there, but she swiftly rushes up. The archer doesn't have time to unloose his an arrow, and she finds herself in combat with the Knoll sergeant, who is supported, however. So it's going to be a tough battle for her, but let's go with it. Okay, she has a fight of +4, so she really is a tough cookie, okay? The Knoll sergeant is going to fight at +3, but he's supported by his colleague here. When I say colleague, he's not a colleague, he's his subordinate, his minion. And so that'll give him +5, so that gives him an advantage against Kaini. But courage unbound, here she comes. Here she comes. Okay. Oh, and hey, it's paid off for her. It has paid off for her. She has rushed in now here with a score. She scores 11. She adds 4, so that gives her a score of 15. The Knoll sergeant has got a score +3. He's got 5. Gives him a score of 10. So she hits him for 5 points of damage. It's a good hit. Didn't take him down, but it's a good hit. And the Knoll sergeant's got a health of 12. So that leaves him on 7. He staggers back with a blow from Kaini. They didn't expect that. And that has really made him think he's up against it here. So she pushes him back, swinging her bow, her big club there. And our new companion here is going to start making his way on a double move up this way towards our friends there. And now we have the events phase. The events phase, I'm going to pull a card. I scored a 2 on this one. So what does that give me in this scenario? Let's have a little look. I'm going back and going back and going back. We've got an event card, red 2, rain. A heavy rain starts to fall. All line of sight is reduced to 12 inches and all shooting attacks are at -2. That could be a timely intervention for us here, couldn't it? All of a sudden, their arrows are not going to be so effective. The rain starts to tumble down, hitting against the old stone tower. The trees, for the first time, if this is the 3rd time you've joined us, look at it. It's beautifully and sunny today. I'm not sitting here with the rain pouring down, so that is a big bonus for us. Boom, next turn. Garesh, here he starts. In he comes. Okay, he's already in combat there. He's going to attack that fellow there, supported by Meshter. So he's a Knoll fighter. He has a fighter +2. We have 3 and 2 for support with Meshter, which is going to give us +5. So here we go. We got the white dice. The Knoll is the red. Garesh has done himself proud this entire campaign, folks. He has swung that blade around and scores a score of 21 compared to the Knoll's score of 7. So the Knoll has an armour of 11, so we have beaten him by 10 points of, we beat him by 10, and that's how many health he does have. So swinging that blade, he slays this guy outright. Cutting his head, cleaving his head from his shoulders. Now I've got to make a marker as well of who has killed what, because 2 Knolls have fallen and we are gaining experience points at the end of this. I think Garesh isn't far off going up a level if he hasn't already. Okay. Keira, the bodyguard here, is going to use her first move to get herself into combat with this archer here right in front of us. She steps out of the forest, brings her blades from behind her back, and dives into combat with that Knoll archer, who has fight +1. She has fight to +4. Here we go. Oh, I'll roll that again because it was stuck in there. Oof! Look at that. Both show great piles of skill. She scores 16, Knoll archer scores 17. So her score is actually 20 to the Knoll archer's score of 18. So she beats him, scoring 20. Taking away his armour of 11, she's hitting for 9 points of damage. He has health 10. So he is on death's door, staggers back, falls against the steps here. His friend, who has just burst out the door, looks in amazement as he has taken almost a mortal wound as she dives out of the forest. What a hero. Our Melter, the hound here, is offered support in that turn, but it's still his turn, so he's going to rush out here and he's going to attack this archer here, supported by Kaini, okay? So Melter the hound, he's on half wounds, so he's being very brave, as he always is, but let's hope that he's going to do okay. He's got fight +1 against the Gnoll archers +1, but he has 2 support with our friend there as well. So +3 against +1. Here we go. High skill again, but this time, for the first time, he bounds out of the forest and scores a score of 20 against the Gnoll's score of 17. So that's a win. He scores 20, takes away the armour of 11 and hits him for 9 points of damage, leaving him on 1 hit point as well. So, wow, those 2 Gnolls are in serious trouble, and our party are doing extremely well at the moment. Okay, here we go. Still no line of sight here, although it's gone quiet where one of his companions actually marched into the woods, hasn't it? So anyway, here he comes. He's going to make his way tentatively through the forest, hoping to find something a bit further out there. He now has a line of sight and can see us bursting through the middle. So according to the rules of the game, he is going to start making his way upwards to offer support to his companions. The sergeant, staggered back and beaten, is now his pride rather dented, as he wanted to show how tough he was in front of his troops, but she rushed out of the forest and hit him back for 6. So he's going to rush back in there and do combat with Kaini. Okay, Kaini is now. She has a combat of +4, a fight of +4, supported by Melter, and he has a fight of +3, supported by the archer there. So the supports nullify each other out, so we won't go with that. We'll just do a straight roll on what they have here. Oh, 10, and he rolls 11. So he scores, the Gnoll Sergeant scores a score of, he has +3, so that scores he scored 14, and Kaini scores 14 as well. So bang, bang, they hit each other back with a clash of blades. And that's turned into quite a fight there, hasn't it? It really has turned into quite a fight. She has really got to test her mettle against this guy, who is one of the evil forces' elite characters, and he is really putting up a fight. Having been knocked back, he's rushed back in there. This archer is now up against it, and he is struggling. So he's going to, out of nowhere, Melter has rushed in. So he's going to fight Melter. He has fight +1. Melter has fight +1 as well. They're both, no, he's no longer supported because he's been pushed back. So Melter has a support of +2 from Kaini. So Melter has +3 compared to his +1. And for the first time, guys, look at that. Whap. He comes flying in again. He's making up for it this game, isn't he? Okay, he has scored a score of 20 compared to the Gnoll's score. He has fight +1, so the Gnoll has scored 14. So he has scored 10. Take away the armour of 11. This time, this Gnoll has been slain, bitten, chewed, and falls to the ground, savaged by the hound. Whew! Great stuff. Wow. Okay, we have other creatures here now, don't we? Now, this guy was staggered back last time, and he's going to rush back in, full of courage, actually, in order to fight with Kyra there. His fight +1, she's +4. Oh, our heroes are on fire, aren't they? Whap! Down he goes. Really does bite the bullet there. Oh, this guy rushes down to do battle there, and in he comes, swinging his great ball and chain there. He is in all fighter with fight +2. She has fight +4. Oh, right, okay. It's the first time the villains are actually won in this game. He scores a score of 11. She scores a score of 9, so he actually wins the combat. But she has an armour of 11, so he doesn't actually do any damage. However, he does knock her back into the eaves of the forest, where she's now open to a shot from this guy here. So he brings his bow up, pulls back the string, and really goes with a shoot +2 to try and hit her. And what a shot it is. 18, she scores 16, and he scores a score of 20. So that's a good shot from him. This black half arrow fires through the air and catches Kyra in the arm and does a score of 20, can take away her armour of 11. That gives her a, where has she been hit? She has scored, oh gosh, right, okay, she takes 9 points of damage. Her hit points were only 12, so she's on 3 hit points. She staggers back, falls to the ground with the arrow stuck in her side. She pulls it out, snaps the haft, and looks with hatred in the direction, picking up her blades once more, ready to battle to the end, and she may just have to. Okay, that is the evil creature's phase. Let's move to our companions now who are left over. Bet. Okay, she has, what powers has she got that she can use in this situation? Okay, the hit points are low. Okay, she is going to actually do battle with this guy. She charges in through the forest, rushes in there to do combat with this Gnoll fighter. She has a fight of +2, as does he. It's a straight roll. Woohoo! She's really swinging for it as well. Scores a 19 to his 11. So they've both got fight +2. So he scores 13, she scores 21. So Whap hits him and does, is that 8 points of damage? Ouch. He has 10 and he's hit back. And here comes Fortesk. He makes his way halfway through into here. Oof. And our companion, the soldier, comes marching up this way as well in order to support Kaini there, who is locked in mortal combat. He looks in awe. They were both masters as they were doing battle there, as you can see. Okay. Right, let's have a look. It's the event phase. We don't draw a card on this turn, and we go straight to turn 3. Okay, the hero phase. Right, what's he going to do? He's just seen her badly injured. Things seem to be okay here, so Garesh is going to rush forward and support his companion by attacking that Gnoll there, that Gnoll fighter. We've got a fight +4. Gnoll has got a +2, so it's a straight roll. Again, look, he scores high. 16 to 12, scores 20. Gnoll scores 14. Take away his armour of 11. He's, I don't think that Gnoll has been injured, has he? So we have scored 20. Take away the armour of 11. We hit him with 9 hit points. Ouch. That Gnoll is on 1 and is staggered back. What a good hit that is. And we have Kyra here, who is badly wounded. I think she's going to turn her attention to the one who attacked her with a bow. Such a good shot that it was as well. She staggers across the ground. He's lifting his arrow ready for another shot. His bow is about to fire, but she's going to try and take him down this turn. So risky move, because she is on 3 hit points of damage. Hit points. His fight is +1, hers is +4. Here we go. Okay, both of them stagger around. He scores 7, she scores 8. She wins the combat, but doesn't do enough to damage him, just to knock him back, hoping that he is, that's going to take him up. But what it does do, it lines him up for a shot in his own turn. Right, and it is their turn. Starting on this side, this creature here is this pig-faced orc rushes towards Bet, ready to do combat. He has a fight with +2. She has a fight with +2. Let's see what happens here. He beats her, scoring 8 points of damage to her 7, but that's not enough to beat her armour of 10. So she just staggers back, having been hit, but not wounded, luckily. The standard bearer is going to rush forward here. I don't think he can get around this without the line of sight. So he's just going to rush to there, ready to step in and do combat next turn. The sergeant continues his battle of attrition here with Kyra. Battle of Kaini, battle of the ages. He has a score of Gnoll sergeant's fight is +3 compared to her +4. she is supported by Melter on this occasion as well. Although she did not need his help, she did not want his help. The Hound is there to make her +6 compared to the Knoll's +3. They were both masters again here. Look at this. She has scored a score of 24 compared to his score of 20. She brings that club down with aplomb and cleaves him from neck to nave, making him fall to the ground and be heard from no more. Whew. That was one hit. She has been outstanding this game, hasn't she? This Knoll here is going to rush in and attack Garesh, hoping to sort of to win something back here. Here he goes. My dice has disappeared off the table and Garesh has not scored well, so I'll use this other one. Okay, he has a fight of, the Knoll has a fight of +2, so that gives him a score of 18, compared to Garesh's first, he hasn't lost a battle for ages. His fight of +3, so I've scored a grand total of 8, compared to his grand total of 18. So what a hit that is. And he hits us, and our armour is 10, I believe. Yes, it is. So our health of, we'd taken a wound, no, that was her, wasn't it? So we are on 7 hit points. Oof. Good hit. Very good hit. Staggers him back. The archer raises his bow and fires at Kaini. Now this could be deadly. Here he comes. His shoot is +2 compared to her combat of +4. Luckily, the arrow shoots over her shoulder and vanishes into the forest. Very lucky indeed. Okay, companions, it's now our turn. Fortek, up to you. You have another spell here. He's got a Burning Light. He's going to use Burning Light in order to try and take out that pig-faced orc who is rushing towards us there. So let's go with it. Burning Light. Let's see what that does. Let's have a look. Spell this. Burning Light gives a burning mark. +3 attack is all undead creatures. It's not undead. So I don't think we can do it. He doesn't want to rush into combat because that isn't his forte, and he's used his magic bolt. So that leaves him a little bit. What he'd want to do is try and support her, isn't it? But never mind. He is going to step this way and head towards the treasure. She is going to rush back in. Was that a mistake? Was that a cowardly move? I don't know. Let's find out. Luckily, no. She has rushed in there. Her fight is +2. His fight is +1. His fight is +2 as well. But she has scored 11. So hits him 13. He's got a health of 10, but he has already been wounded, and he falls to the ground, dead. Excellent, good stuff. Right, bang, bang, they've gone. Staggered by the Knoll captain, but ultimately victorious. She's going to charge into combat with a standard bearer and see exactly what we can do. He's got a fight of +2, she's got a fight of +4, and is filled with courage. Let's see what happens. She has scored 19 to his 12, so her score of 9. His armour is 11. She hits him for 8 points of damage. So, staggers back, only on 2 wounds. Looking, what a game. What a game. Okay, Mehte has already gone. Our soldier friend is going to come forward here as well and offer support that way. And that, my friends, is the end of turn 3, and we draw an event card, which is a 3. What is the 3? I hear you ask from wherever you are. Thank you for joining me anyway. I love having your company here. It's really does make a difference. Although the sun is shining, things are still pretty rough these days, and just to have you here with me as I play through this game, it makes a real difference to me, and thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Red 3. Okay. Knoll. Place 1 Knoll fighter at the centre point of the table, and then roll a random direction and move the Knoll 8 inches in that direction. Okay. So if the centre point of the table is around here, I would say, let's roll that. and let's place him 8 inches in that direction. It's going to be about here. So we're bringing in another knoll, and I'm going to use this figure who hasn't been on, and he is going to appear here. They needed it actually. They were struggling, weren't they? They were really struggling. Well, here we go. Turn 4. Lovely. Okay, our hero, step forward, do battle, win for the forces of light and destroy the forces of darkness. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. The Knoll has scored 18 points of damage where we have scored 7. He beats us by 7. Oh, that's a dark day, folks. Garesh hits the ground, knocked back and felled by the heavy blow of that ball and chain. We're going to have to find out what happens to him after this game. I didn't expect that. I got to be honest. I did not expect that. Melchder is consumed by rage by this. He sees his master fall, and in his companion move, he rushes forward to do battle with this Knoll who stands over the prone body of his master. And it's a disaster. Luckily, Melchder's armour of 10, the Knoll scores an 8, so he doesn't do any damage to him, but knocks him back to there, which is a bit of a blow. And the other hero that could have moved there was our bodyguard there, Kyra, who is also on 3 hit points of damage. She got courage like you wouldn't believe, and she rushes in there to do battle with him once more. Oh, now this is looking desperate, folks, as I lose another dice off the table, but I will rush down, pick it up. It all swings quite easily, doesn't it? It all changes quite quickly. How the game of war can shift. Our heroes have scored a grand total of, our grand total there, she scored of 6 compared to the Knoll's 17. Take away her armour of 11, she falls to, I think he's got a dagger under his cape there, and he pulls the dagger out and brings in a weak point of her armour, and she falls to the ground. Not looking the best at the moment. Okay, 2 of our best fighters are now out of the game. They have just gained another fighter, and now it's their turn. Things are looking a little bit more difficult now. This new hobgoblin rushes forward and attacks Bet. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. The good rolls have gone, haven't they? But he only scores a 7, and he hits her back, but does no damage. Luckily for her, because she is on half damage. Okay, the standard bearer, hoping to avenge his master, rushes forward there to fight Karini, who wins, but only scores a 9. Not enough to beat his armour, knocks him back. Okay. Melchder's in his sights. Here he comes. Oh, okay. He scores 14. Melchder scores 11. That means he hits Melchder 4 points of damage. Melchder is on half. His health was 8. He started the game with 4. He loses 4 points and leaves us again. Oof. Okay. Okay. This guy here is going to move forward 6 inches to there. Right, the rest of our companions. Okay, here, Bet. You're up against it there, Bet. But here we go. In she comes. In she comes. Oh, and she's done herself proud. Okay, she scores 15. He scores a grand total of 11. His armour is 11, I believe. So she's hitting for 4 points of damage, knocking him back. What a strike, and when we needed it at the most. Okay, four deck. He's making a dash across this way to find out exactly what's going on. Kaini, I've got a lot riding on you at the moment. You really got to do us proud here. She scores a 2, he scores a 3. Neither of them do any damage, but she knocks him back, pushes him back. Our Solier companion. Do you know what? He's going to move this way and attack this guy here. He's going to attack +2. Oh. That's disastrous. Scores 20. Scores 19. Beats us by 10. Slain. Killed. Taken off the board at least. Ouch. Ouch, ouch. It's turn 5. And there's no card at the end of that turn, so here we go. Our ranger is off the board, so I believe the creatures will go first. So here he comes in order to do battle with Bet. Oh, I tell you what, that's a great roll. She scores a score of 12, he only scores 5, she does 2 points, he's on 1 hit point as he staggers back. He comes forward here to do battle here. Just when she needs it. What a warrior. What a warrior. Okay, she scores a grand total of 23 to his 6. She hits him for 13 points of damage and cleaves his head from his shoulders. Thankfully, she is still with us and looking to do battle. Okay. Right, okay. But do battle she must, because he is going to rush out to fight her here. She spins round. She cannot savour the victory any longer, and once again is called to fight, and once again brings up the goods, okay, as she scores 22 to his 17, and she slays him unbelievably. How many knolls have fallen to her club on this occasion? He, however, is going to be a little more cautious, steps forward, brings that arrow up. He's already killed one of our warriors, or put one of our warriors down, so things are looking quite tough. And he scores a total of 20 to her score of 9. Beats her armour is 11, so 9 points of damage. She falls to her knees with an arrow in her chest and is taken out of the game. Slumps forward. Right, okay. That's a blow, isn't it? That's a real blow. A real blow to the forces of good. Bet, it's her turn. Steps forward. But pulls it out the bag with a score of 17 to his score of 8 and kills him. Fantastic. Ha ha ha. Oh, well, this swung, didn't it? This became quite a turn up for the books. Right then, let's have a look here. We've got Fortek is going to move up here, and he is going to have a look at what we can find in the treasure, which we will do right now. He's going to check one of the treasures with his other action. So here we go. It's number 3, isn't it? So let's have a look. Here he goes. Not the web cocoons, we don't want to look there. This is the clue marker. Okay, he rolls d20 to see what he finds. 18. Book of poems, just what we needed. Just what we needed. Find a book of poetry written by one of the soldiers stationed at Tolvarden. Some of it has been scribbled over, but enough remains to prove its worth and beauty. Oh, a book of poems. Just what we needed. Okay. End of the turn. Draw a card. It's an 8. There's no 8. Once again, let myself down there, didn't I? It's a 4. knoll. Throws a knoll fighter to the centre point of the table, roll a random direction, and move the knoll 8 inches in that direction. That way, 8 inches. Bet you got your work cut out. You have your work cut out. Turn 6. No companions, no ranger, so straight in with these then. Here he comes. Rushing round to do battle with our brave hero here. 12, 16. He scores a score of 18. She scores a score of 14. He beats her armour. Bet's armour is 10. Beats her by 8 points of damage. She's on half hit points. She falls down. Badly wounded. Badly injured. Out of the game. Out of the game. Out of the game. Fortec. I called you a coward earlier on, didn't I? I called you, you stepped up looking for treasure when maybe you should have been trying to assist us. When maybe you should have been asking, what could you do for our heroes? Maybe we should have been a bit more heroic, a bit more supportive. Like here you are. You're there, you are. You're out of spells. Okay. Well, he hasn't. He's got healing, which could come in handy. 6-inch move. Forget the treasure for now. Attack. 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 He's up against it. But what he does, look at that. Scores 13. Scores 16. Beats him by 6 points of damage. His armor's 11. Hits him for 5 hit points. Hits him for 5. Hits him for 5. Staggers him back. Staggers him back. Come on, we can do this. We can do this. Steps forward. Takes a shot. Oh! Hopefully that's an omen of things to come. Let's have a look. Oh no. Okay. He scores a score of 19. Vortex armor is 10. He is hit for 9 points of damage, leaving him on 3 hit points. Ouch. Leaving him on 3 hit points. Comes back in and attacks Fortec, who does not go down fighting. Hits him for another 4 hit points. Ouch. Hits him for another 4 hit points, knocking him back, but is not quite enough to put him down. It's the end of turn 6 and we go into turn 7. It's the bad guy's move. Comes into combat. Beats him by 2. Scores 18 points of damage to Vortex 16. His armor is 10. Takes him out of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a dark, dark day at the ruins of Tall Verdun. Our party has been defeated. We are going to have to do battle again and come back here and see what we've got in order to find out if our adventures can continue. That started so well, and I genuinely thought that we were going to win that after about 3 turns and provide you with a really short playthrough video. That hasn't been the case, has it? Our party are in all sorts of trouble, and it's now time for us to find out exactly if they are in any state to continue with this game. Okay, let me find the sheet. While I'm looking, ladies and gents, thank you ever so much for joining me. I've really enjoyed that, actually. It's been really nice. It's been a really sort of good, exciting playthrough, and has led to a defeat in a solo game, a lost. But we'll find out what's happening. Let's find out what's happening with our party. Can we live to fight again? I do have a storytelling channel, Owen Staton, Time Between Time storytelling. please have a look at that, have a view of some of the tales, and if you would subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. You find me a lot on the Crown and Command podcast, talking to Josh as well, so please have a look there, and please join me again here as well. We have Garesh, we have Kaini and Kyra, we have Mehte, and we have Fortek and Bet. These are our originals here. Let's find out exactly what has happened to them. We'll leave Garesh for last, okay? So, Fortek has hit the ground. There's a chart here. Find out what's happening to him. 10. Full recovery. Thankfully, we have someone to fight again. Kyra. 10. Full recovery. She can fight again as well. Mehte. Every game, he goes down. Permanent injury. There's another chart for you to roll on here. 18, smashed jaw. The figure suffers a smashed jaw, never heals properly. Figure has some difficulty in speaking. Well, he is a dog, which affects his ability to lead men in combat. The figure is a ranger. You only activate one companion in the ranger's phase. Furthermore, he's not, so it's okay for him. He can continue, but unfortunately, he has a smashed jaw. Player of the match here was absolutely outstanding and deserves so much more than what happened there. 15, full recovery, thankfully. Bet, you did well, even though you were fighting on half hit points, and you make a full recovery, so we'll see the best out of her next time. And Garesh, your first defeat, my friend, but you make a full recovery, thankfully. Could have been worse, couldn't it, there? And yeah, what a struggle that was. Thank you ever so much, Diolch yn fawr, for joining me here for this Rangers of Shadowdeep playthrough. Really enjoyed your company, and what a good game that was. Really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. See you soon.